Hey BBC family, we're so excited that this Sunday we get back together again, and we can't wait to see you. Although we're going to get back together again, we know that there's some things that will be a little bit different, and so we thought we would just walk you through this. So Todd's behind the camera, and we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll meet Jared here in a minute. But I just want to walk you through what you're going to expect to see this Sunday. So when you walk in, you do what people do when they come to church. They show up. But there'll be a little sign here, and we just want to draw your attention to this, that, with everything that we've been going through with the coronavirus, there are people at different levels of their comfort in terms of greeting one another. We're not asking you not to do your typical greeting, but be sensitive to other people. You might shake a hand or elbow bump or whatever else you see there, even a hug perhaps, but if people aren't comfortable with that, we would just ask you to be sensitive about that. When you get to the door, there will be a greeter there, and they'll hold the door, but we've instructed them just to do that so that they're not, greeting 250 people, and who knows what that could be. So just know that. It's not that they don't care. We've told them that that's sort of how we want them to respond. We're certainly not requiring masks. That's not mandatory. But again, if you want to, that's totally up to you. Use your own discretion on that. And then, so you can read through this a little bit. We do want you to know that, I'll wait till this truck goes by, that the bulletins will be in here, and we'll show you this in a minute. We won't have nursery or children's church or foundations classes just for the first few weeks, and actually we're in the summer now, so foundations classes will pick up again in the fall. But the seating will be available in the fellowship hall, and we'll show you that in just a second. And then we will serve you coffee. So again, just a different experience, but we want to be as helpful as we can. All right? So you'll see that. And as you walk in to church,
good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Great to have you back with us.
Fine-looking greeter, isn't he? He's going to show up time and again in this video. So you'll be greeted, and you just can walk in.
Good morning.
And when you get into the hallway here, we'll have bulletins here, and they'll also have the sermon notes on the back. Children's bulletins, you can get those, and hand sanitizer if you want to use those. Not sure if that's what that will look like, but they'll be available to you. Also, if you wanted to bring your own, that would be okay too. I think a lot of people are doing that, but that will be something that you can expect to see. All right, so pick those up. Nobody will hand it to you. You'll just pick them up and make your way through. If you have any questions, you can always go to our Connection Center. And
Hey, good morning. Good to have you back.
If you have any questions with them, they'd be glad to answer those. And for our children, because we don't have children's church, we want to provide something for them. And what are these called, Jared?
These are called busy bags. And we just wanted to provide some resources for your kiddos to, kind of keep them engaged and occupied as the sermon is going on. Again, we've got the children's bulletins, but in these we'll have some activity pads and some little puzzles. So a great challenge and opportunity there, and just a notepad along with a pencil and some crayons. So just a way to kind of keep the kids engaged. Busy bags for busy bodies, basically. So,
and those are for children,
right?
Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
I know they're limited in supply, so you'll have to request those.
Yeah.
But there should be enough to do in there, and so we want to help you, help to provide for you.
And we'll ask that you obviously will return those at the end intact, so we can have those again for following Sundays as well. So,
All right.
Yeah.
And any questions you might have, our Connection Center people will be glad to answer those for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Amen.
Okay. Let's move on then. When you come into the fellowship hall, then I want you to notice a couple things here. We've got some chairs that are in the fellowship hall. We've done that from time to time. If you're more comfortable being a little bit separated, you sure can do that. Or if you wanted to sit out here with your children, if it'd be a little bit easier, you can absolutely do that. But we want to provide that for you. We do want to highlight again our Connection Center, our
Home Point
what
Center.
is that called? Our Home Point Center. So if you have any resources that you'd like to get, that's still available to you. and those are all there. We'd love for you to take part in that. All right. Then here's what's interesting. We will also have an opportunity for coffee. We talked about this. Should we do coffee? Shouldn't we do coffee? Most people need coffee to survive through a long sermon, and so we will have coffee, but we will have people serving it. And again,
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to have you back.
Hopefully somebody better looking than this, but anyway, so they will pour your coffee, and if you need anything, they can provide that, cream or sugar or any of that other stuff. We just want to make sure that we're being responsible. So coffee will be available, but it'll be provided by one of the servers.
We also will not have the water cooler there, but we'll provide bottled water that you can get here from the coffee server as well. Barista.
Barista. I am the barista.
All right. So once you've gotten your coffee, you can make your way back into the sanctuary. And we've set this up a little bit different as well. We'll get to that. Sunday's going to be kind of unique because it's a communion Sunday, and Chad Young is actually going to be sharing that communion time. You really don't want to miss it. It's going to be a fantastic, really intimate time. But again, with everything that we're dealing with, we've had to think about how do we provide communion. And so several years ago at a men's event, we had communion with men, and they had this little communion cup that was given to us. And if you'll notice, on top is the wafer, and then you'll have the juice. And so when you come in, pick one of these up, and then we will instruct you during communion time how to do that. You'll peel this off to take the wafer out, and then you'll peel again to have the juice. It's really, really quite convenient. So pick one of those up as you come in.
And those are not gluten-free, so we'll try to have a few wafers set aside for those who are gluten-free as well.
Okay, great. We still have our offering boxes, so if you'd like to give, you sure can. If you haven't been giving online with our app, you've been missing those. If you missed our children's bulletins, they're there. And then what happened to our? Oh, there they are. Jared.
So worship notes and nuggets. It's been a while since we've been able to use these, but these will be available in the same spots they were before. And again, we want to remind you, because again, it's been a while. Fill these out and find a pastor or an elder and share what you took from the sermon. Share what you wrote down, and we will be packing candy again. So we are really excited it was really cool to hear some of the things that the kids took away from the message before. So we're looking forward to doing that again. So those will be out in the same locations as before.
Great. Okay. Follow me into the sanctuary then. And you'll notice, Todd will probably pan, that we've taken out some chairs just so that you'll have a little bit more room with social distancing, and so it gives us more room. There aren't as many chairs, obviously, and so get here early so you get a good seat. We would encourage you to sit with your family, and if you're not sitting with your family, you might leave a chair or two in between, just to keep people's minds at ease and just to be sensitive to that. But that's what the layout of the sanctuary is going to look like. And then everything else will be the same. The same risen Christ. We will be celebrating him and worshiping him. And so we just want to invite you to come out. We can't wait to see you. Thanks for just being patient with us as we've been, doing services online. And I know a lot of you have been watching those, but we just can't wait to corporately get back together. So look forward to seeing you. All right? Have a great week.
God bless, guys.
Bye-bye.